I want to call to order the Senior Service Advisory Council meeting for March 10th, 2025. Let's see here. Introduction to new members. We have no new members. We're all just the same.
Same as,
Okay,
glad you're here.
thank you. ADRC, Kate,
Well,
And we're gonna have Darla,
Darla?
Darla's gonna,
Okay.
Gilbert is
What do we
gonna,
need today?
she is out, Kate is out.
So our ADRC is our Aging and Disability Resource Connection line. So people can call in and get resources for things around the county. If we're able to help them, we find phone numbers and direct them in the right direction. Sometimes out of that, we end up doing like what's called option counseling. So people that don't know what their options are for aging or their disability, we can help them figure out what direction they need to go. Pretty much that's what we do with that, so.
And who do we call? Senior
It
Services?
is, yeah, it's our 541-440.
541,
440-3677.
thank you.
Yep, and then we have different people throughout the office answering it
Okay.
during the week. Any other questions on that? It's pretty simple, so anybody, we hope to do our very best getting people in the right direction that they need.
And people have a certificate, they study
Yeah, we have to take a little
be a
class
professional.
to do it, yep.
Yep.
Yeah, fun stuff,
okay, thank
all
you.
right?
Thank
Okay,
you, Darla.
you're welcome.
Okay, next is OPI, Jerome.
Yep. Okay, OPI-M stands for Oregon Project Independence Medicaid. So we're making that transition from what the state is calling classic OPI, which was a state-funded program, funded through general funds from the state of Oregon, to a program now that's funded by Medicaid that serves the same folks. And so we're in the process of making that transition. We still have some folks on our classic OPI program, but we're getting a growing group of folks on the OPI-M program. And so there's some modified rules for that help make it easier for people to meet the income requirements and resource requirements while still having the Medicaid funding. And so, yeah.
So instead of being a state program, it'll be a federal program?
So it's still a state program, but the funding is federally funded, yeah. So it is coming from those federal Medicaid funds.
Okay.
You know, what OPI, the classic, has run into, we're always hitting the wall with funding. And it was always a struggle every 2 years with the new biennium and the state putting in the budgets. There was always a little bit of trepidation if OPI was gonna be funded and at what level. And so, you know, it made it, we've had ups and downs over the years with the funding where we've had to reduce the services we're providing, reduce the hours we're providing to folks just because of the lack of stability in funding when it just comes from state general funds. And so I think historically because of that, the state wanted to find a solution to better fund the program. And so they were able to get a waiver to use the Medicaid funds for that program. Now Medicaid is generally a low income program and so it has a lot of income and resource restrictions. And what the state did was they worked with the federal government, Center for Medicaid and Medicare and Medicaid Services to find some levels of income and resources that would make a lot more people qualified for that program without having to sign a biggie is what's called the estate claim, you know, where they have to pay back from their estate what was spent on Medicaid. So by changing those resource and income levels, it allows people to not have to be exposed to those things but still get the services. Gave us a bump in the hours of service we're able to give folks. And it should, the hope is that it'll stabilize that then without every 2 years we're kind of wondering what's gonna happen with our funding. And so that's the OPIM program. It's a program that we work in conjunction with the state on because it has those Medicaid requirements. They still have to look at resources and income. That's not something that we've ever done at the county as part of the OPI program. So the state retains that part of it. They do the resource analysis, take a look at all those things to make sure the person's qualified. And once the person is qualified, then they send the case over to us, and then we follow up on what's called the services part of it, where we help them find a home care worker, get those services. It has opened up more services like emergency response systems, so that fall alert button that people have. That's folks on classic OPI were never eligible for something like that, and it makes them eligible for a whole suite of other services that we're still getting our feet wet on, figuring out how we're gonna provide those to everybody. But yeah, so that's the OPIM program.
How is it? I know you're not gonna have an answer for this, but do you have any idea? I know that there's, with the political climate, unfortunately, that they're cutting things. Have you heard anything about this at
I haven't.
all? I mean, is there any?
Well, I haven't heard anything, but that's a reality that we would have to consider. So, I mean, it's a Medicaid funded program now. Looks like Medicaid funding is gonna be cut maybe. And so if that's the case, this being a brand new program, it might be one that's on the hoop, but it's nothing we've heard.
Nothing
We haven't
you
heard a
can-
single word about it and don't
Haven't heard anything.
haven't heard anything. We don't have any
I
projections.
just wondered if there was anything on the
Yeah.
OPI end, if they're holding that, state's holding that back a little bit so they can jump
OPI
back.
is still active.
Yeah, so
I mean,
the
it's still
classic-
They're gonna
yeah.
open, still open
Yeah, the
back.
classic
That's what
OPI is
I'm
still- yeah,
asking,
yeah.
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah, so the classic OPI is still there, and so then the hope would be that we would just keep that program in.
If
Yeah, because that has no federal
That was
funding.
my question.
Yeah. That one is completely funded just from state funds, and the federal government has no impact on the funding from the federal government has no impact on that. So but when it comes to the new program OPIM, we haven't heard a single thing. I have had no transmittals or emails from the
So
state.
you answered my question,
Yeah,
that was
so,
what
yeah.
if this is still,
It's
they haven't just
yes.
thrown it out the door and you can't get it
Yeah,
back.
they have not done that yet. It's still functioning, the OPIM. We still have a number of clients on that. I think 30 something folks are on that currently still. So.
Yeah. That's what was my concern.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's a concern. I mean, we were always
They always get something better and then something happens to it and
Yes,
they
yeah.
actually lose what they had and
Yeah.
that was my.
well, and even with the OPIM class in years past, with the being funded from the state general funds, we were always on that roller coaster
Yeah,
of funding
it's
anyway, so
always-
it's
you don't
it's something
have-
we're kind of used to, after all these years. But it's a great program because it generally it's really good for people, but on the other hand, it tends to save money because when folks have that in-home care before things get too bad, it helps them stay at a higher level and not end up in skilled nursing or in the hospital or something and
Oh, yeah,
get
it's-
on, which costs a lot more.
Yeah,
Because then they often will end up going on Medicaid, full Medicaid for that and costing a lot more, so, yeah.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay,
Thank you.
alright.
Okay, next on the agenda is updates from members area. Vicky, you got any information about your
Oh, I
area?
apologize, I have no updates, I've been busy with sickness and
Oh dear.
and cold weather problems and so I'm hoping that spring is here. I'm very tired of it.
Good.
Everything, as far as I know, from what I see, it's always the same issues. Not enough people doing enough, so I'm hoping that we get a few more volunteers and go from there.
Good. About the same way with East County. I was just out to Glide last week and people were at the dining site having lunch and everybody seemed to be happy and healthy and so,
Yeah, after that weather is.
yeah. Jean?
And mine's just the same old stuff, mainly the transportation for the elderly. It's really bad
Down south, huh?
I've noticed, and I don't know what this means because I don't know exactly where they're going, but I've noticed a few more buses in the Dillard, Winston area.
Oh, going down 99 area.
Yeah, now I don't know that if I just caught them just right and I'm thinking there are more, but I wasn't seeing them before and I've noticed two or three of them.
No,
They haven't made it down to your area, but
well, I have the same ones because they stop on my property corner, so I know when they stop.
yeah, you know right where
I
they
know
are.
right where they stop. And they're the same.
Well, I'm
They
just
start
hoping-
at
I'm hoping-
7 in the morning and one goes one way and then comes back, goes the other way.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping maybe they're starting moving.
But that still isn't helping the people that need the help because they have to pay for their ride. They have to go and come when the bus goes and comes.
So there's, yeah,
It's still the same problem.
yeah.
Yeah, the fixed
It was
routes
better
were hard.
when they did the private
When they
transit.
had UCAN that had their buses or their cars, whatever, transportation.
The dial a ride thing.
Yeah.
That takes care of that problem. The problem is there, but we just haven't taken care of it, so we
Yeah,
can't
yeah.
take care of it.
Yeah.
We're waiting for the self-driving cars to.
Yeah, well, the problem is, even if we have volunteers that do it, then they really aren't allowed to do it because of the insurance difficulties.
Well, that's true. We have a large problem. And I'm gonna open my mouth and maybe I shouldn't. But one of our clients is crippled. And yes, my heart goes out to her. But we could deliver her meals and she refuses to have them delivered. She wants to come. And it's sad. There we go. There's no ride for her to get there unless she walks and walks home.
And no senior,
Because people don't wanna give her her ride home because they're liable if she falls getting in or out.
yeah, and it is difficult, we're in
Yeah,
such a
it is.
situation, yeah. That was the great things about the senior companions when we got that program.
Oh, that was a wonderful program.
Very good.
Yeah, that's a real loss.
Yes. Yeah. That was a big loss.
All right, thank you. Is Tom here?
He is not today,
So we skipped that one,
yes.
then we jump down to Jeannie.
Okay, so to go back to the transportation, there is a area agency on aging survey. I put some by each of you, you're welcome to pass them out to people as you talk with folks. On here, on the first page, there is a question about, does your community support access to public transportation? On the very back page, there's a whole page that allows you to write down your concerns, issues, things that you see are really needed in your community. And so, as we were talking earlier, Jean and I, even though we don't provide the transportation directly as a service, what we're planning to do is get this information, gather this information, and then share it with community partners that actually provide this as a service. If it's something that's an unmet need by us that another community member may do, we're gonna make sure that they get that information too. So it's more of a community sharing of information. Okay.
Now, when these are filled out, they're to be turned back into your office?
Yes, so you can either take it to a dining site and give it to the food service worker there and she can gather those up. We're gonna have them in the dining site as well. Home delivered meal recipients will also have an opportunity to fill those out, and we'll give some to the case managers if people need help filling them out. However, whatever we can do to accommodate to get that feedback back to us.
So if I go in the
So-
dining set and tell them they can't have dessert unless they fill this
There you
out. We
go.
won't.
It worked for my kids, so.
Now, is this survey your survey or the,
It is my survey.
okay,
And this helps us to determine for next year, the following few years to determine where and how we're gonna serve our
okay.
seniors in Douglas County.
Okay.
With our Older Americans Act funding, OPI funding, that type of thing. The other thing that I have, a couple other things, I did provide everyone with a 3-month calendar. These are we have not met with our contractor yet, but it gives you an example of what is there, where Kelly and I will probably go over them and give the contractor input on what is available there. So this is the baseline menu, and then from this, we try to make edits and suggestions based on what we're getting as far as feedback from the communities, what we're seeing, food service workers are seeing out in the communities, and you know, when they receive something, is it well received or is it not? Do we need to try to change it? Do we need to exchange it with another type of meal? What it is. So I just wanted to give you an example of what we start out with on the base. Also, if you have questions or comments about it, just please get them back to us. We're gonna have our meeting on Wednesday afternoon at 1 o'clock. So if you get us feedback, you can give it to Kelly, you can give it to me, whatever, you can email it or phone us, whatever works. We'll take that forward in our suggestions to our contractor.
Now, is this their menu or our menu?
It's their menu,
Their
it's their proposed menu, and then we we review each month and we do it at a 3-month segment at a time.
Do we still have a nutritionist that tells them what?
Yes, they have a nutritionist involved in their formulas when they provide that, so they have to go by having certain amounts of the federal guidelines of nutrition, vitamin C, you know, it has the whole caveat of the nutrition that needs to be in there. So the very last thing that I have is a information from Harvard Health Publishing. And basically it's information on discovering functional fitness. Functional fitness is really about looking at fun things you can do, exercises that you can get moving, that's going to help you with your everyday activities. So some of the things that these activities can help build strong lower body to climb more flights of stairs or more quickly, maintain shoulder mobility so that you can grab things off of high shelves easier, strengthen leg muscles and your balance, avoid tripping, boost your body's ability to right itself quickly in case you have to catch yourself if you're starting to trip. Prep your body for better navigation or navigating obstacles in your path, like pets when they get underfoot, things like that. And working your core, gluteal muscles and hamstrings so that you can just pop up out of a chair. So it sounds really great to be able to maintain those things, but these are really functional things to be able to do so that folks can stay independent in their homes longer. So we're going to be looking at possibly some evidence-based programs, or at least get this information out to individuals of things that they can do to kind of help mitigate some of those things so that they can stay active and flexible and their best possible for staying independent, really.
Sure.
So that's all I have for today. Does anyone have any questions?
Oh, I can tell you a story about how I fell down.
Yeah, that's fall prevention's one of our
Oh, yeah,
main
that
things in the senior
I
services were.
was stepping over a baby gate. I've got 2 cats I was keeping, and I'm doing this, I did this for a month. I felt really, pat yourself on the back, I'm really agile, whatever. Well, I did everything wrong one day. I changed my shoes, I had on socks that were slippery in the shoes. I had a long robe and I had something in my hand and I went to step over it and I went flying. I
A
caught my
recipe for
toe
disaster, as they say.
and landed on my knee and just pushed everything, out of whack. And that was in September, and then the other day I fell again
Oh, no.
after I'd been to PT. But I'm just saying, and I'm pretty active and I try to stay pretty strong, and things just happen.
They do.
I mean, the only thing I did right that day, I wasn't on a ladder.
Yes,
I stay off of
Thank
that.
goodness.
yeah,
That was
goodness
that
you were
was the
not.
only thing I could say I did right, it just was one of those common things, but a lot of people do stuff like that, and thank goodness I've got strong bones, but if I hadn't had, I'd been in a lot worse shape than just.
Yeah.
And the older we get, the more,
It was everything stupid, I mean, not planned, and I wasn't even in a hurry. Just,
Well, one of the other programs that we're looking at as far as evidence-based this coming year is a fall prevention program.
yeah,
So it looks at fall risks in the home and then also ways to
the
help
cat that lays
strengthen-
right down in
yes.
front of you as
Yes.
you're walking in,
Yeah.
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 Got one of those, he's a big cat, and he just plops right down in front of.
The black lab that you have at night and you can't see him. when
Oh,
you
yeah,
go-
that's a good one, yeah.
It's too dark to see him.
Yep. I do keep those night lights in, but even so, you can't
Yeah.
see something like a black
Yeah.
or a dog.
mine's a weenie dog, always on her foot.
Yes,
Always
yeah.
on your foot, aren't
They
they?
do.
I don't understand, and you step on them and they act like so hurt, like you.
All right, do we have any minutes to approve?
No, but we will get those next time. I was gonna
Okay.
say, Jerome's probably gonna start coming to these SAC meetings with me. Right now we have out, Dan that was here is no longer here, so, Jerome and I will be working on the minutes and getting those taken care of. And, they are recorded and I think we can maybe send them to you
Okay,
to look at, online.
Well, we probably can approve them online if, since it's just,
I'm not sure how that works, but we'll find out
you know,
and we'll let everybody.
I mean, so that they can be done,
Yes,
want to, I don't know if you need to do that.
I will find out all that great information and get back to you.
I
But
just
I
said
know
I
we can
would-
get you, I know we can get them out for in case someone wasn't available to be at one of the meetings, so you know what's going on for sure, so we'll find out.
well, this is a fast meeting today. Our next meeting is going to be June 9th at 3:00. And possibly, the time might be, Jeannie will talk to you about time. Can you come earlier or,
June the 9th, I think just let me look at the calendar, I think I will be gone. So if anything, and I doubt very seriously where I'm at, I'm gonna be able to get a Zoom. Cause I'll be up at Lapine and I just don't think it'll go. But I will give it I will give it a try.
I think too, Vicky, what they were looking at is, I know previous to this, they had a few different members that had to wait, and I know you were one of them. You had something previously on Mondays that you had
Oh,
to do in the day, and we were wondering if maybe they were asking earlier if it could be changed to 1:00, because that way it's easier for them to, well, Jean to get back down south when she's.
yeah, that's fine, I have no problem with that,
with the 1:00?
1:00,
So whatever you officially have to do for that, you know.
not a problem.
1:00?
That's fine with me.
That's fine with me too. So we change it June 9th to 1:00.
Okay.
All right, 1:00.
So if I call in, do I call in just to ask for a Zoom?
Yes, and we'll get you the information on that.
Alright. Cause I mean, I can still attend the meeting, so to speak, but I don't like to miss them because there's so few of us.
Sure. And we do need more of us, so we need to,
I know.
have we advertised or anything like that?
I think there was something, but we'll double check and make sure that it gets advertised on the website again and also do some Facebook advertising.
It's sad that these 60-year-olds don't wanna help. It's,
Yeah.
and they say, oh, we wanna travel. Well, can't you take 4 days out of 365 and do something for somebody else?
Well, even if they did Zoom,
Well, right.
I have a group that I belong to and I've belonged to for a long time. And it's just kind of dwindled over the years, people sick, some of them, but some of them, they just aren't doing anything, I don't think.
Maybe
And
that's an option.
we do a Zoom meeting
We can look at that as an option for.
for people, I mean, you might,
Well, it might not, just to, I know at the Rosebrook Senior Center, every Friday, I do the prayer and the flag salute. So I can announce at that particular time that we need volunteers And so they need to contact you, Jeannie.
Mhm.
So,
Or the Board of Commissioners office. they
yeah,
can
maybe if
contact.
we, when we are at the dining sites, if we ask for volunteers and do, or, so,
I think that's a great idea.
okay,
Every little bit helps, we'll
Yes,
do our
yeah.
part, and if you all wanna.
Yeah, you just pick up one or here or there, it
Yeah,
helps, yeah.
get anybody interested, so.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have anything else? All right, we'll have to call this meeting adjourned then.
Thank you.
Okay,